scheme or not. You got no HDS, then they got extra step scheme.
Oh, BTS.
I think June you are around, Dr. Darren Chua.
You can't get any of
Huh? You need support. William around there. I think
Should be around.
Can you more important you can't get into
Boleh pasal dia dah club no club I say.
very crowded. Right,
Get the BTS cloud. Get the BTS cloud.
BBM.
BTS. Yeah, do them no need to pay on this one free one.
No,
Huh?
maybe thought is a trolley. Trolley, you have a handle, you must lock. Otherwise, the handle will.
BTS, no, BTS, well, can sell 23 times the ticket lah. 3,999 you sell until 8,700 8,700 BTS ticket. Don't know who is BTS. Yeah, like that. BTS.
BTS.
BTS 打波嚟啦，都冇插嘅嘛，你走嚟 BTS 打波嚟。BTS. BTS Concert Singapore.
Isi total online. Misteri online misteri.
Okay. Got BTS.
Kemudian
BTS
kemudian masa ada.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we shall start on time. Okay, today's topic is on the evolution of money. Okay, we'll start with olden days money to the modern day. So we'll move quite quickly because many things to talk. Okay, so we talk about early money, then understand people use metal, precious metal as money. Then later we have the paper money, or we call plastic money, all this printed money. Then we talk about what to use gold pack with the value of the money. So you cannot anyhow print money. Then somehow US switch back to fiat money. And now nowadays people talking about electronic money. Okay, electronic money can be worse than fiat money because it's just a number game. Okay, we go by one. Okay, very early man time, people live like a close-knit family. You have a small one or few families live together. Okay, so there's nothing to trade. Whatever they want, they get cash. Like a lion, quite a lion, they don't trade. They whatever they need to eat, they go and find or they go and catch. Okay, then when people like to live near resources like river. So when they live near a river or lake and there are limited space near the river, so people will group together, more than one family will come together. Then somehow they will form a village so that they law and order, help each other. Okay, so they will start trade effort, trade skills, and trade time. I can look after your children, I can go and hunt for animal, I can build traps, and they can, each person has their own skill. Okay, the small kids and the women are weaker, so they can do like tasks like sewing, making clothes, or making arrows. Then the stronger one maybe carry water, carry animal, go hunting, and so on. So they do trading. Now when village form many villages, then you need to trade. Okay, then your negotiation will become complex. And one of the easiest way to survive is you attack another village or tribes. So once you attack, you gain all the resources. It's easier than just to go and hunt. You see? So when people start hunting, they start collecting resources. Like let's say in Africa, you collect elephant tusks. Elephant tusks become one of the precious materials that you can trade and exchange for food. The tusk who's talking? The chick. Okay, so you become a society with another society. So now things become complicated. So they need something, some common understanding to trade. Last time the trading is not so much. We have maybe fish, chicken, vegetable, fruits, or even water, wine, all these things. So it's not much. So you can add certain value like eggs. How many eggs equal to one chicken? So it's okay, but as things get complicated, okay, you need a common value, something to measure values. Food, you have vegetable, you have fruits, you have meat, you have live animals. So all these have value. Different animal, different size, all different value. So somehow human will just value it at differently. If I have many children, I will not value effort as much because my children can do all the effort. But if I don't have many children, I will value effort more. So I can pay a bit more, exchange maybe with something which I think has a lower value and exchange something which I think is worthwhile. So there are many things like consumable. John to say something. other consumables, we have the wood, animal hide, arrows, services. We have carry water for you, I can bring food for you, I can go, all this, whatever, all this considered services. Of course, early people, they don't determine all this way, but we just classify it. Or you can have like hardware, for example, tools, hammer, buckets, furniture, all these things. Then more expensive items like assets. We have people are assets, houses, become jewelry. When you got nothing better to do, you have too much resources, you don't mind buying jewelry, something nice, beautiful, to decorate your own self or decorate your house. Then you have precious metal. And at the later stage, when people are more advanced, they discover metal and become called precious metal. Gold. Gold is easy to discover because they exist in nature. Whereas things like iron, aluminum, these do not exist in nature. So early people cannot discover them so easily. Okay. So with plenty of this thing, then we need to establish some form of value. And the way they measure this value, it's called money. They use money to value all these services and food, consumable, whatever thing you want. Okay, so they measure in units of dollar and cents, rupiah or rupee, whatever they have it, the cars are. So we find our Singapore currency, we have a decimal point. Just now I didn't turn on the audio, right? And
switch off my audio.
I switch off the audio because I can't hear you what you're talking. I forgot that my audio is off. So you all don't catch anything, right? Or you all don't know that I started already?
Don't know.
Oh, okay. I see. You must stop lah. Then you know. Okay, the topic is evolution of money. Okay, we will talk about early money, then we talk about metal as money, then we talk about paper as money, and then the world want to peg money with use gold to peg the value of money, and subsequently you end up with the fiat money. And then now we have electronic money or cryptocurrency. Okay. So early years we have barter trade, but because they don't make money, just like a pet or lion, they just hunt and eat and feed the family. So there's nothing to trade. Whatever you want, you get it yourself. So as people live near natural resources like water sources, lake, river, in the sea, or some potential area, then they will have a bigger group. In the bigger group, then they will help each other. But of course, you help each other. There will be some who are just lazy, they do anything, you get everything. So people will start to complain, and then they will start to value their effort. Everybody will think the effort is worth a lot. So your effort, how much effort is worth depends on how much the other party is willing to pay for it. So within the village, you can trade effort, skill, time, other things like if you catch a chicken, you can give eggs, or get some vegetables or fruits from another family. So this starting happen. And once you have many villages, then maybe they call tribes. Then negotiation situation become complicated. And then people will start attacking each other, and you need to build your defense. Because if you attack another tribe and you win, you get all the resources, including the women and the animals. So it's a way of making money. So we have a lot of war, small little fight. So barter trade, okay, you can trade with items or time, things that people value. So when they value more, they were willing to exchange with you for things that they need. So like food, vegetables, meat, animals, live animal, baked animal, eggs, eggs. Then consumable items like wood, animal hide, animal services. All these can be traded. So you can also trade hardware like tools, knives, axe, buckets, furniture, and you have bigger items like people, you trade people, you trade houses, you buy house, and when you have more money, you got nothing to do, you buy jewelry, you look nice, and later you discover metal, precious metal which you can collect, and then it become a form of material that is valuable. Okay, but all this when get complicated because there are many tribes, many villages, so we need a way to measure. So normally money is created by a ruler, a king or emperor, where he has many subjects to manage, to maintain. Okay? So they must create something to measure, like we call dollar and cents, or we call rupiah, rupee. Okay? This thing called money must have a few characteristics. So it must be fungible. Fungible means I give you $1. Say I give you $1. Later, you can return me $10. I give you back $9. You don't care whether this $1 was the same one I give you. You don't care. As long as it has a $1. Unlike painting, if I give you a Mona Lisa painting, then I expect you to return me the same Mona Lisa. You return me a painting of a lawyer, then I say, hey, look at you. If I give you a painting of Mona Lisa, you return me a painting of a lawyer. So painting is not fungible. Okay? So that's the meaning of fungible. And for money, it has to be something precious. You take a piece of stone and say, oh, this is money. I also have outside my garden, I can pick a lot of stone. So it must be precious and it's difficult to get. You must put in effort. So the value is the effort.
Share.
Yeah. Anything that is precious that you can get, you can take effort to produce, that effort is the value of money. You take 1 hour to produce something, that 1 hour is the value of your money. Okay, because you can take this 1 hour to get a cash spider, or cash chicken, or feed chicken, or grow plant. So it's the same, so you must have precious value. You can no need to be so precious. Okay, it need not be very precious, but it must take time to produce, and it must be consistent. Okay, for example, you talk of precious, you can use the jade. Jade also precious, but the point is jade is not consistent. Color they mixture white and green, and people are very funny. They value jade differently. They look at the jade and say, oh, this jade is perfect. So it is more valuable. And then the size also different. A bigger piece of jade. The jade is very round. You need to polish it. And when you polish it, in what manner? You want to polish it as a circular thing, like a coin, or polish it flat, or round like a marble, or square like dice. And the quality of the jade is different. So it's difficult to say, oh, this piece of jade is worth how much, and it's subjective. So this type of material cannot be used. So things that consistent like silver, copper is consistent because you can take a silver and then you can weigh, you can't run from it. Then that is measurable. Okay, you take a piece of silver, you can measure, you can get a weight. Of course, you take a piece of jade, you can measure, you get a weight. But unless people value jade consistently, whether it's a white color jade or green color jade, it's the same value. Yeah, but people are not, they don't agree with the value of the jade. So jade is not consistent, it's not suitable. Silver is silver. If you take a piece of silver, you measure the weight. You go somewhere else, you get a piece of silver, you measure the weight, then it's the same. Then you can't run from it. So both silver has the same value. Okay, of course, you can cheat lah. If it's nickel, you say it's silver. Sometimes it's hard to tell. You look at it, they are all very shiny. So silver was used as a currency. That's why they call it 银行 金银珠宝的银 a lot of yin. Yin is a silver. Silver has been used as a currency because it's not only measurable, it's more plentiful. Of course, the other one is gold. Gold also can be used as a currency, as a money, because gold can be measured and is consistent and it's called precious. But it's too precious that there are not so much gold floating around. In ancient times, it's very good to mine gold. They don't have machinery and all these things. So gold is, there are not a lot of gold. So you cannot use gold as money because it is not enough to circulate. So it can be used as money but higher denomination, because more valuable than silver. Then copper is also easy to find, easy to produce. So they can use copper as money. So that's where the coin started, like copper coin, silver coin, gold coin. Okay, these are the common materials people can find. But eventually it gets complicated already when people discover more metal like zinc, and they can mix zinc with copper, and they can mix other material with each other. And then they can mix nickel with copper, and then it becomes not measurable already. So the other thing, it must be trusted. So sometimes one gram of silver coin is worth $10, for example. But you take this coin, you melt it, it's only maybe $5. The material cost is only $5, but the coin denomination is $10. So you want to use this coin, you have to trust that somebody will look at the denomination and value it $10. But if you melt this coin, it's only worth $5. The material cost is only $5. So the trust must get. So the trust is given like to the government, because the government need to put in effort to create a coin. Of course, if you can also create a coin, you can produce the same coin, but it becomes counterfeit coin. But if the counterfeit coin is so good, then it becomes like a real coin. So the effort to produce a coin may not be worthwhile. So your material cost is $5. So plus all the heat, energy, all these things, you also end up $10. So you don't make money. So there's no point to compete. Of course, the government less production of money, they can make it worthwhile with less material cost. So now you find your Singapore coin is magnetic. They put in iron now. Nowadays they put in iron, nickel, iron, and all this. So they are cutting down on material cost. Okay, even stone can be used as a currency. This estimated like 500-600 years old, the small coin to big stone. Some they use it as a small stone, they use it as currency, they can use it to exchange. And this is in a small island, those island nations, they don't deal with the outside world. So over the years, the custom, people are accustomed to it, okay, and they are willing to accept. Right? Somebody will have to spend the time, polish the coin, make the coin. So that is the value of the coin. And it's more like a status symbol. If you have a big stone like 4,000 kg, it's more like status symbol. If you have a big stone outside your house. And stone is only a perceived value. And during the Japanese occupation, you find that the area is in the Pacific called the Yap, sound like Chinese name Yap, like John Yap. These people they call them Yap. Okay, the Japanese look at this stone, they don't value it. Oh, you say a status symbol, or you put outside your house, you are a big shot. The Japan look at it is they use it as a cheap anchor. Take the stone, throw it in the sea. So what's the value? So the value is only in your mind, in your custom, in your culture. You believe it has value, it has value. You don't believe this is just a stone. I use it as an anchor. The most I pay you about bag of rice. You take your stone and use it as an anchor. If I have the power, I don't value this stone. So it's useless. So this is the meaning that you can use anything, seashell, gold, silver. If people believe it has value, then it has value. Once it's gone, it's gone. Okay? You can use diamond as coin. Not as high when people believe is useless. Okay, so early coins they use copper, then they also can use bronze. Bronze they mix up with steel. So bronze look shiny like gold. So you want to cheat, you put less copper, then less shine, less orange color, then you know, hey, this is a fake. But it's difficult to tell the amount of copper or the amount of steel inside. So and then bronze also oxidized, color change. So it's quite difficult to know the value of this. So normally it's the king or emperor use this material to stamp coins. So they stamp the coins like the coins like you see. They just stamp it and they put the value because the government say this is 20 cents, then it's 20 cents. But if you look at the material, maybe it's only 5 cents. So if you can produce the same weight, the same size, then people can't tell the difference. Then you reach out, don't get caught. Okay, this one, because these are protected by law. Okay, but the point coin is it change shape, people scrap. Precious coin will scrap the edges, and the coin gets smaller and smaller. So that's why your coin nowadays, they will have coin that's the edges, all these particular edges, is to prevent people from scratching the edge away. So your coin will grow smaller and smaller. But nowadays people don't care. Who will take your 20 cent coin and scratch the bit of the metal up to accumulate the metal. You don't, so we don't care lah. Sometimes we even have the words like Republic of Singapore along the edge of the coin. Okay, look at the 50 cent coin or bigger coin of $1. Sometimes they put words up, so if you stretch the word disappear. Okay, but this is not the problem now. The problem was in the past when people use silver or gold coin. Okay, now people come out with paper money after that because metal is so precious and it's difficult to produce and there's a limited and it's heavy to carry. So the paper money. Paper money it started from traders. Let's say this person he give money to a merchant in one state. Let's say Shanghai. Give a merchant the money, some real money. Give the merchant give him a loan. Okay, right? Promise that this is worth how much, that I have received this amount of money from you. And then you will travel like horse slowly until Beijing. And then you take that piece of note, you go to the merchant's another branch in Beijing. And say, oh, I have this paper that says $100. And then this merchant in Beijing will give you the $100. So you can spend money. You don't need to carry the money all the way. Then it's like now when you travel, you use traveler's check. So you don't need to bring money. You want to just use traveler's check. Okay, now we have electronic, so different story. But this, in the past, this can be done. But this only possible if this merchant has branches in different cities. So if you are going from Beijing to Nanjing, then this merchant don't have a branch in Nanjing, then you cannot exchange anything. So there's this problem. And eventually it becomes a bank. People find this one is a lucrative business. So they just open up businesses like that. So the bank must have their own bank facilities. So it becomes a bank. And then the government find all these things, all this trading become very useful. Government take over all this. So it becomes standardized. So the whole world always eventually all fall to government own the money. Okay, but you still can issue those. Okay, this become like remittance. Okay, so slowly when government start issue money, they start coins, then they have paper. Those paper is easier, cheaper to print coins. Coin heavy, and then it cost high cost to buy the material. Those paper is cheaper. Printing is quite cheap. Because they have all the security printing, so it is there's a cost to it. Then the best is digital. Digital is easier, you don't need to buy material, you don't need to buy paper, plastic. And then now we have crypto. The digital and crypto are a bit different. So digital is what we have now, like PayNow, all these things. Crypto is the money is a number inside. It's a mathematical number. And then they use a public key, private key, this sort of encryption, so that only you can unlock the number. So it's
The number is very long.
Thousands of
Then how do you keep the number?
cannot keep. That's why you store in a thumb drive or you store in your hard can print out lah. You print out one page.
How long?
Very long, maybe 1,000 character.
1,000 character. Actually, the thumb drive, you know,
1,000 KB only lah. Very small thumb drive or gigabyte. Why you do it?
for crypto for certain amount, not for $1, $2.
Okay.
Crypto for
No, it's not amount.
Crypto.
It's
Okay.
not amount. It's the, I mean, that code linked to the crypto.
where's the money?
Huh?
Where's the money?
Money is this thing lah. This a value lah.
Yeah, so the crypto is
Just a number lah.
like digitize the whole sum of money.
No, it's not.
So your crypto represent $1 or $100,000.
Okay. This crypto thing depends on the design. The current design like Bitcoin, the crypto is one Bitcoin. So you have they divide this one Bitcoin into small coin, fraction of one coin, and then they have audit ledger book, right? Ledger like you got debit, credit in the ledger. So each one is given a crypto key. So you use the key, you lock the number, then when you make transfer, you use your key as encrypt it, send to the fellow, we encrypt with the fellow's public key and send to the fellow. The fellow has the private key unlocked and then we change it, it becomes his coin. So all these mathematics,
So
is
the crypto coin, one Bitcoin, don't say fraction. Coin. Okay? Crypto coin,
you see, this number, I know this number.
no, I
Okay,
mean,
I know this number. I know because I have a key, I can see this number. But nobody else know the number. But if you want my coin, then I will use your public key. I encrypt it with my private key. Then I send you this number. So
Yeah.
you can unlock it with my public key.
and not what do I see, what do I do?
You see this number.
What do I do?
Then you take this number, you register it as yours.
What do I do?
There's a
It's mine.
ledger. There's a ledger.
What do I do? What I mean is, where is the money?
It's in the number. So you don't this
That's a
number,
number.
has this number.
This number
You
worth how much?
register this number.
This
The
number
number
worth
has no value. It's just a number. It's how much people willing to pay. See, one coin is a 100,000.
Right now, one crypto is one Bitcoin is how much right now? 20,000.
61,000.
One Bitcoin is 60,000 lah.
Yeah, then your fraction of it maybe
No,
$5.
6,000. Never mind. So if I want to give me 60,000, you want to give me
79,000.
79,000. You want to give me one crypto, I don't give you 79,000.
No, is you must how you give me in value in exchange of cryptocurrency.
I want
Is
I want
inside
one
is out of the system.
I want one Bitcoin. Okay, I want one Bitcoin.
You pay the seller by bank transfer or whatever, that is outside the system. Once he receives the money, either in gold bar, in US dollar or Sing dollar, he will give you number. He will show you his number. So your system must take this number and quickly register it as yours. You can encrypt it. Then nobody can see it.
So that's my crypto lah.
That number become yours already, and then nobody else can see already.
So that's my Bitcoin lah.
So nobody else can see, and then it's yours. You cannot disclose your secret key.
And then I want to cash out, I sell it to you.
You show it to me, then I take your number, I encrypt it, I put it, register, it become
So
mine.
you give me the 71,000.
You must make sure you take the money first.
79,000.
If it's online, online, the fellow say, I have cryptocurrency, you give him 60,000, you take your money, you keep quiet, your money fly away.
So how do you transact?
And also you go to the crypto exchange. So this crypto exchange is like a bank, like a stock exchange like that. You buy share, you go to the stock exchange, you buy share. So you pay money, the fellow make sure you get the share, you transfer the thing for you.
So you don't have to, the agent will do everything lah.
Yeah, the system will do for you.
System, you don't have to.
But if you want to do it yourself, let's say you want to buy from William Ho, you must make sure.
I cannot make sure. I
Yeah,
can't
you
make
must
sure
make sure.
because I better go through the agent.
You give the money, he give you the coin, then quickly register the coin, become yours.
I must run to somewhere to
Online. Because if you don't, you can give a coin to someone else or go and give it to his left hand, right hand, you lost it already. So and William must make sure your money is real one. You receive your money, then give you. All this time, if it's someone outside, you don't know, so you must trust the system. Just like you buy share. You give William the money to buy share. You take your money, you don't give you the share.
So bottom line is you must always use an intermediary that is approved by the government and so on.
Intermediate, not government, is like a bank, it's like a stock exchange. It's a bank, it's a private organization. And there's two ways to do it. One is you keep the secret code inside your own electronic wallet, inside your thumb drive or whatever. Or you just have an account with this exchange. So the money is his. He only give you a number, just like the bank.
Okay.
Yeah, but the federal bankrupt.
Yeah.
If you're bankrupt, like
No, there's another risk. The hacker hack into the bank, the
hacker
depository, and take everything, and that's it, you're gone.
then you bankrupt. Or he can take your money, he go and buy something else. You go and buy US shares, you go and buy US currency, you go and buy learning fee. You go and gamble, you can do anything because your money is there. It's just like a bank, and there's no control. The government don't control like a bank. Because this crypto is not controlled by the government. So the federal absconded with your money, and that's it already.
And it's so popular.
Yeah, because they say, I only 10,000 lost of payment. So everybody 10,000 is again.
79,000. You got 10,000.
No, the 79 is one more coin. But normally somebody can achieve.
Million of.
110 of Bitcoin or 110.
Okay. So anyway, in the early years, there's no control. The government, let's say the dynasty, one of the China dynasty, he can create money. If it's coin, he just produce and produce and produce. So if he has a gold mine, he just produce gold coin. So he just pay people to go to the gold mine and dig out the gold. And if paper money, he just print and put a stock, put a stamp. This is money. So no control. So that's why after a while, there's so much money floating around that there's little value. People angry already. I save so much. Now, last time $1 can buy one chicken. Now $100 can buy only 1 egg. So people will song. And then the government very easy. I have soldiers. I have so many things. I buy food. I just print money and get one.
Print. Just like this.
So Japanese occupation, you see the government money. They bring and give to their soldier. The soldier take the money, go like drink beer, live enjoy life. no money, come back, bring some more, take. So then the backup earn $10 one time, earn 100,000 one time. So the backup become very rich, and then they anyhow spend, they go and buy chicken rice, they buy this, buy that, and how everybody becomes rich, and then people at one already. Okay, so during the war, the World War I, World War II, Europe fighting with Germany, and then Japan fighting with China and Southeast Asia, and then India providing the soldier and resources, rice, everything, until they themselves starve, provide all the food because they are under the British colony. So the British take all the resources away from India to feed their own soldiers. So almost every country become very poor, except USA. USA at that time was quite advanced. Okay, things like in South America also not in war, but they are not so advanced. Canada also not in war, but the most advanced is USA, because the British also asked America to produce weapons, radar, ammunition. And US has a lot of immigrants. They have a lot of resources also. They can dig from the ground, many things up. So US factory run overdrive. They become the manufacturer of the world. They produce all the weapons, everything for the whole World War II. And then the war is gone. Everybody find that all the houses factory road railway bridges all damaged. They need to rebuild. So US has all the steel. We have the steel, we have the oil, we have manpower, we have factory, we have everything. US is a superpower now. And then US said, okay, now my money, I will take it to gold. You all want money? You bring the gold to me, I put in Fort Knox, then you can print your money. So
after the war, back gold after the war. So again,
because they have a lot of gold already, because the British have a lot of gold. They stole from China the gold that they occupy China, they fight the Opium War, they take all the gold, silver, they move to British Britain, and now they use the gold, pay the US for the weapons, for their own destruction, and now US have all the gold. So they say, okay, now we pack the gold. But US has a lot of gold. Other countries has no gold. China also not much already, all lost already. Japan also take all the gold away. Everybody has no gold. Only US has the most gold already. And they say pack the gold. Okay, everybody they don't argue. They can't argue anyway because US is so powerful.
It's called random wood. What is the wood? That period when it was back to gold.
When
some wood.
when
is
okay, somebody can go. So pack the gold is a good idea.
yeah, that is the time when after the war, 45 we get together something good to say that even $1 is back to this amount of gold.
This amount of gold. That's what we say.
Well, that was agreed. That was mutually agreed.
Yeah. So if you sing dollar,
Brendan Wood.
Yeah,
Brendan Wood.
yeah.
Brendan.
So if let's say Singapore want to use, they will either peg with the US dollar or peg with gold. So it's the same thing. So a lot of people just peg with the US dollar. Then you want to peg with the US dollar, can. You want to bring how many dollars? 1 million? Okay, that will be maybe
Calculate.
peg 10 kg of gold. Okay, then you bring 10 kg, park there. So I record you have 10 kg of gold, now you can print that amount of money. First you can print more, Friday you can print more, then they will come and cash you out, go and scold you or whatever. So there's control when you want to print, all this machine, the serial number, auditor and everything. So you cannot print, you can print exactly 1 million. You use this amount of gold, you put there, you can print 1 million. So you circulate this one. You want some more? Go and find gold. So the whole world is like that. But US, they are so powerful, so rich, they go and fight war in Vietnam, they go and fight war all over the place. So now they are fighting war, not the British anymore. The Europe is building, Germany is building, everybody is building up. Japan also building up because they destroy everything. But America is fighting the war now, so they are spending the money. Then they don't have enough money, and then they scared already. In 15 August 1971, the President Richard Nixon, he said temporarily ended the convertibility to gold. You cannot convert to gold. You cannot take your US dollar, come to me and exchange. The French sent a warship to US. Said, I want my gold. Okay, this is the amount US dollar. Take that. He said, no. Cannot. They give excuses. You cannot go back up. And then it started fiat money. They give a name, why they use fiat money. It's not like a car, there's a car also called fiat.
That's just paper money.
Yeah, paper money, last time also paper money, but pegged to gold. Fiat money means it's not pegged to anything, but still the same paper money. Okay, but temporary ended the convertibility, but until now,
Still temporary.
Still not yet. No, the temporary, still temporary, so many decades, maybe forever. Okay, so now they call it the petrol dollar because they fly to Saudi Arabia. They tell, I protect you, you use my US dollar, all your oil pegged to US dollar. If you want to sell oil, they have to US dollar. So the whole Middle East, they are now selling oil in US dollar. But this has stopped already because the agreement with Saudi ended already. So when that increase the demand, then US
Bretton Woods
our
is at $35 per ounce.
But ounce of gold.
last time one US dollar is one ounce is 35 US dollar.
One ounce,
35
$35 per
Now you go up so much, 1 ounce. how you take
5,000.
you take so much money just to get the blue back. How you take 1 million US dollars, give me back my gold. US don't have enough gold.
Because of Vietnam War, they lost a lot of money. That's why Nixon
Yeah,
started
not just the Vietnam War, they also internally they also anyhow spend money because they have plenty of money. Okay, so
spend until they have no money.
So when they use the fiat money, then they must increase the demand. Once they increase the demand, the value will be there. Okay, and US also started this rule. Okay, you cannot anyhow print money, although it's called fiat money. You cannot just print it. You just go to the printer machine and print 1,000, print 1 million. So there is control. There's control. Self-control. The world will monitor you.
Control.
Yeah, you must have self-control. You cannot anyhow print, although it's called fiat money.
But who is controlling who?
Okay, so how they control each other? How they control? Even Singapore also has control. Okay, MAS is the one that controls. But who controls MAS? Okay, the government. Same in US, last time was the US government controlled the money printing. And then they lost control. Okay. cheated lah. They want to scam, they own self print. So they own self control, own self cheat. And then people don't trust already. And this fellow called JP Morgan, he get all the bankers, a few big bankers, and they tell the US government, in order to restore the trust in the US dollar, the government should not be in control. Because own self-control, own self-print, people don't trust you. Let the Federal Reserve control. So Federal Reserve is a group of bankers, like JP Morgan. So they control. So now we have a third party control. And the government will oversee the Federal Reserve. So that the Federal Reserve cannot anyhow print money. And the Federal Reserve will control so that the US cannot anyhow print money. See, same like the MAS cannot anyhow print money because the government say cannot print. And when the government will print MAS, they will tell the government, no, you cannot anyhow print money. But the problem is the MAS chief is one member of the PAP. And the PAP is the government. So, people won't trust us. Okay, that's why you must have integrity, like MAS must have integrity. So people still trust. Okay, but now US government has shown that they have no integrity. So now the Federal Reserve money, okay, let us be the one to control. US is the only country where the government don't control the money. It's a con job.
Federal Reserve is also the government.
No, Federal Reserve is bank. It's a group of banks. It's not controlled by the government.
Okay.
Of course, the government can close the Federal Reserve and reinstate like monetary authority of US, and then take over control. But
So right now, it is independent.
yeah, it's not so easy because a lot of people holding US dollar, and they are very powerful. Imagine the Federal Reserve now, they can authorize the printing of the money. So now the system is the US government cannot print money, but they can borrow.
Then who prints the money now?
The Federal Reserve,
Federal Reserve print the money.
but you must borrow. You must borrow money. You cannot print money. So you can borrow.
Federal Reserve print money and lend to the government.
Yeah. And the government must pay the interest.
The government pay interest.
So government can borrow, but how government borrow? Okay, so government can issue bills, notes, and bonds. Okay, they are the same thing, except bond is 10 years and onwards. Notes is 1 year, 1 year to 5 years. Then bill is 6 months, 6 months, maybe 1 year.
So
So
bills 6 months.
6 months, 1 year, like Singapore T-bill.
Bond and what?
Bond 10 years, 20 years.
You know what in between?
Notes is
No.
2 years, 3 years.
Oh,
Some
same thing now.
It's the same thing, just a period.
Bond
But they give
is
different
bond.
name. Just give different name.
Note is media, the media one.
So,
Bond is very long.
so what it does, the US government say, I issue a 10-year bond. Okay, but they
Not government, Federal Reserve.
No,
No,
US government. US government say, I issue 30-year bond. Okay, I pay you 1% interest.
Wait. The money is printed by Federal Reserve. Federal Reserve it has the money.
Yeah.
So now you're talking about the government. It's not Federal Reserve.
Yeah.
No, the government sell the bond to get the money to pay to Federal Reserve to print the money.
But Federal Reserve now hold the money and print the money. The government must
Borrow lah.
borrow.
Yeah, so you must pay that money to borrow lah.
So the government must borrow from Federal Reserve. Federal
Yeah.
Reserve will print. So cannot say government. You say the government will lend. No, it's Federal Reserve lend to the government.
Yeah lah. Okay, so now government issue bond. So you all must must you all buy the
On
bond.
your language, government issue bond.
Yeah.
Federal Reserve issue bond.
Government issue bond.
So you see, you use interchange, you use say government, Federal Reserve.
Federal Reserve don't issue bond.
But Federal Reserve is the one that bring the money, what? They hold the
The
money.
money is lent to the government,
I want to borrow, man. I want to borrow. Is the government want to borrow? Government issue bond. Bond is a promise to pay you back. So the government want money.
So the
whoever want
Federal
money,
Reserve
you
bring the
issue
money.
You can take, you can take the money, and then you have the money. If not enough, okay, Federal Reserve can buy. You can bring the money, give you, but you must pay back Federal Reserve. Okay, but if your interest, then no one will give you one. So Federal Reserve must buy. But if your bond is high, then people willing to take. Then you take back the money from circulation, the government use it. Then 30 years later you pay back. Okay? But then China also issue bond in US dollar.
China issue bond in US dollar.
Sabo US dollar. Because the US say, Donald Trump say, hey, your bond interest too high already, tell the Federal Reserve, lower it 2%. Then 2%, who want to buy? People must buy.
Also China issue bond.
So China issue US
US,
dollar.
so China a lot of US dollars.
yes.
Instead of buying
Commodity
US.
commodity from US. No. They holding US dollars supposed to buy commodity from US. That's why they give back the US dollar.
Big dollar.
Yeah.
To buy the bond lah.
No.
Yeah, when China buy bond means China is giving
China
money to
don't buy
US.
bond. China last time had a lot of bond.
No, now still has. It's 800
Now China is issuing bond.
issue bond in US dollars.
Right, so they are selling bond.
So they're selling bond.
To other countries.
Instead of America selling
Yeah.
But
selling
China
bond.
is selling at a higher interest rate than
Oh,
what the
I
US
see.
is selling. US say 3%, and 4%. So you have 1 million, you want to give to the US government and get 3%, or you give to the China the same 1 million US dollar and get 4%. Which way you will want to do? You give the China.
Borrow lah, the Chinese bond lah.
You give China because you trust China won't run away. China is richer, they got a lot of money. And then US take sanction China, take Hong Kong, the US dollar.
So right now,
So
bond
you run like 50 billion stuff cannot come up. Okay, because US said, I sanction you. Then you want to buy, so nobody want,
US
no country
will
will
not
buy.
have enough dollar. You have to print some more.
So the point is now the bond has reached the retail market. The auntie, uncle will buy the bond. But this type of people, the moment something wrong with the money, they run away already. They sell and run. Okay, because they have no diplomacy, they don't look at the country's demand or what. They look at themselves. Hey, I want to lose money, I sell. So the volatility is very high. Okay, it's not like a big country, let's say like China, you cannot anyhow sell the bond. You must look at Trump face, see how it is, look at the situation, I sell a bit, I sell a bit. But as individual buyer, you don't care how the system goes. You just sell and run away.
Cannot tell you individual. How can individual how much?
If a lot of people are like that, because if the countries are not buying, the businesses are buying, the individuals are buying. But these individuals are private businesses. They see something wrong and they quickly throw and run away already. So the crash will be faster than now in future. Because this these retail investors, they have no plan about what is happening. They got no political attachment or loyalty.
Since when China has been selling US dollars bond?
Last time, long ago already.
Oh, long ago, been selling.
Long ago already. Last time was higher, the interest rate was higher than the US dollar. Okay. So once they have the US dollar, they go to Africa and then they clear the debt of African nations. They lend the US dollar to African nations to clear the debt. And the African nations will pay the debt in renminbi. So now the debt has changed the US dollar to renminbi. And clear the African debt from US dollar to renminbi. So it's safe now, all back in renminbi. Okay, now the other point is QE. If no money, then Federal Reserve will issue quantitative easing. So they will use the money to buy.
Since when Federal Reserve is out of government control? Since when? Recently 5 years or 10 years?
On JP Morgan, early 1900, 1900.
Oh, early 1900.
Yeah, when there's
So a long time already.
a long time,
Oh,
19 something.
very good.
JP Morgan is now the company is so big. Quantitative easing is they take the money, give it to the bank to buy all the junk assets. And hopefully the bank has money to lend to the government.
So QE started by Obama.
Long ago already have.
Is it?
They just give it a name, quantitative easing. It's printing money.
It's printing money.
Buying, but it's spending money to buy asset. It's not spending money to just use something. But the asset are the junk asset. Useless one, cannot earn money. Then you buy asset from the bank. So the bank is the one that benefited. And hopefully the bank has money, the bank don't go bankrupt, the bank can lend to the government. Okay, the other way is to reduce circulation. So we call back all the US dollar. Means once you issue bond, the US government take the bond already, they will pay back 30 years later. But this money they don't spend. They take the money and destroy it.
Destroy it.
Yeah, because they borrow money. They will destroy it.
How will give it?
You can earn you can earn money and give back. You don't, or you keep this money. You don't go and circulate it. Once you circulate, everybody have a lot of money in the pocket. They itchy finger. Then they will buy more things. The price will go up. So you must reduce the amount of money in circulation.
I never heard of it. How to destroy the money.
Yeah, they have
Every year Singapore
do
money.
that.
That
They
is
issue new money.
old currency, they have to destroy it.
No.
Replace with new currency.
And that one is not destroying. That take the old currency and issue new one. You don't destroy, but you keep. You don't circulate. You circulate. You are creating a lot of money floating around. Then everybody feel very rich. Then start buying things. Anyhow to buy. Now phone not spoil, so buy a new model. Then inflation keep going up. So you must keep once the circulation demand go up, then you issue. You don't keep. So now you talk about, because money, this US dollar is very important in this world. Because the whole world is part of US dollar. So they have a 30 billion, 39 trillion debt. How to resolve it?
That's a question I ask.
So okay, one of the strategy, of course, they must earn, the government must earn a lot of money and tax a lot of things. Okay, so we don't talk about all the methods on how they tax and all these things. We just talk about the oil. So you have to control the oil supply and you control the oil price. Okay. main thing is against China. They believe if you bring down China, US will benefit, US will progress. All the manufacturing, all the job, money will start going back to the US. All the investors will put money back to the US. They don't invest in China. Well, China is not doing well. The money will flow back to the US. See? So one way is they control Panama. Panama is the rock, so and they are successful. They were successful in controlling Panama. Hutchinson got to give up Panama already because even the Panama government said the transaction was illegal. So we take back. China not do anything.
Li Jiacheng
李嘉诚
At first, they want to get BlackRock to buy over. And China cannot sell, cannot sell. And now the Panama government say illegal. You don't need to sell, it's illegal, take back. So US take back. Now they control the Panama. And they also control Venezuela now. They capture Maduro, and then they have election, and the next president support US. So US oil companies start entering Venezuela already. Now they control the supply of oil. Venezuela is different from Iran. They try to do the same thing Iran fear. Because Venezuela now, when the economy, when they sanction Venezuela, everybody, a lot of people in Venezuela run away. They ran to Canada, US, Mexico, everywhere. So a lot of Venezuela has families in US. They also can speak English. They are closer to US. So if US want to take over Venezuela, they say, okay, you might have doesn't matter. Anyway, they have family in US. And US also have families in Venezuela. So it's a small matter, US, so it's okay. But Iran is different. How many Iranians are staying in US? How many US citizens have Iranian family? Hardly one. So when you want to take over Iran, difficult. You kill one Ayatollah, another one will come up. But it's the same anti-US. The system really designed such that the next person will also be anti-US. So the formula doesn't work. It works on Venezuela, it works on Iraq. Then they can take over Iran, or they have a military base, they can take over the Strait of Hormuz. Because Qatar and all those Bahrain, all these countries, they are not at war with Iran. So Hormuz can still run, nothing wrong. So, but the problem is, when they attack Iran led every Gulf nation. Qatar, Bahrain,
US
all
interest.
because US military base are there. They say they are helping US to launch attack. So they whack all these countries. Everyone.
Yeah, but but the day when they bombed the airport in Kuwait,
Everywhere Qatar, Kuwait.
No, Kuwait, they bombed the airport in Kuwait. One person died, right? Then 5 others injured. But the Iran issued a statement saying that the one not be bombed, the one is US. They launched counter missile. Okay, shot down his missile, but the thing landed at the airport.
Not directly.
Not they bomb. It's not directly because they shot him down, then putting bomb, then come down.
But it doesn't matter who bomb now. Iran also bomb a lot of countries in the Gulf. already bomb a lot already. One bomb, if they not there, doesn't make a difference. They bomb throw so many bombs already. Okay, so if the US take over the Strait of Hormuz, then gone already. All the oil is gone. And the next one they will take the Suez Canal and Strait of Hormuz. And then China is stranded. China is dead. But now Hormuz was gonna start.
But China now already negotiate with Thailand land bridge.
Yeah, but slow
Land bridge.
Slow lah, slow. From Myanmar also can, but slow.
Then they also built a pipe from Pakistan all the way to China. No, from Pakistan. So the oil straight away they park at Pakistan and then they suck out the oil and then the pipe will go all the way to China.
Also land from Siberia also,
Yeah.
Russia.
So the dependence on all these streets will be less already, all from the land.
Okay, so now you see what other mistakes US overlook. Okay, the US export is a oil exporter. They export 1.8 million barrels per day to Europe. Okay, so if Iran stop oil export, it's okay. US still export oil to Europe. They still make money. Okay, so China also buy oil from US. So Netherlands bought the most and then a lot Singapore also bought some, and then so on, so on, so on. Okay, so but US is also an importer of oil. 4 million. He sold 1.8 million to Europe, but he bought 4 million barrels a day from Canada. And then US will make 5-4 with Canada somehow.
And next is 50.
Because
It deal with this Canada saying that they're buying oil from Canada. And because of this, the Prime Minister visit China.
The other problem is there's a shortage of oil. So every country will want to buy from Canada. The price will go up. I need oil. No oil, my country cannot run. So whatever price I will pay, because I take the oil, I can sell at a higher price. It's okay. Correct? Because it's required. Your car cannot run. You must buy oil. The fishermen must go out to sea. You must buy the petrol and go out to sea. And if you catch fish, you can sell a higher price why you can. You don't get oil, you can't go out to sea. So all these private companies, they will check out the price. Now US in trouble already because the price of oil go up. So US must pay more to buy oil. You don't pay more and sell to other people, sell to Southeast Asia, Philippines, Thailand, they all need oil. The Philippine fishermen cannot go out to sea because no oil. So they'll pay for it, they'll pay a higher price. Singapore don't mind. Singapore buy, they refine, they sell higher price. The refineries still want to work. So we cannot run dry. If Iran oil didn't come, we still buy from US, then they still can run the refinery, they still can sell oil. Whatever they refine, they can sell. Surely somebody will come. So the oil price will go up. Okay, the other problem is we talk of thick and thin oil. Okay, the US normally refine mainly the thick oil because in the past the oil is the thick oil and then they buy the oil from Saudi, also thick oil. So it is the refineries are constructed to use thick oil. But then when US oil production is getting lower and lower, it's okay. They buy oil, they buy from Saudi, thick oil. But suddenly somebody is produce shale oil. It become product, the technology becomes easier to do, and oil price is is also high, so it's worth doing. So they do fracking. Fracking now will extract all the thin light oil, like the oil, not the thick one. But then they cannot produce. The refinery in US cannot produce, but they have plenty of shale oil. So what they do, they buy the thick oil from Saudi, they mix a bit, it's half thick, half thin, still can use that, then the refinery can work. They buy from Canada also thick oil. So they buy Canada, they take all the shale, mix with it, they can work. Some other refinery with one thin oil, they sell the shale. That's why US also export oil, but they export the thin oil, they buy the thick oil. So problem, because when you buy, people sell you at high price. When you sell, they sell at high price, make money. When you buy that, you also lose price. So the price go up. So now Trump over there. And you look at the map. Okay, the Suez Canal, oil can move through Suez Canal to Europe. But where's the oil? The oil are all over here. They got to go out of the Hormuz. Go out of Hormuz, they can go up the Suez Canal. See, of course, there's a line, there's a pipeline, but this pipeline is very, very small. So the pipeline can go through the pipeline in Saudi Arabia and go up the Suez Canal. Then you can go to Europe. But now when the Hormuz is shut, the Suez Canal is open, but nothing, no business. The ships are not coming because Hormuz is stuck. So now Europe died, no oil. See, all the oil here is in the land. They have pipeline. Mainly must go to the sea, and they must all pass through the tiny straits of Hormuz. And then you see Canada produce their privately owned, almost dropped their supply drop, demand went up, oil price went up. So who can pay more and get it? Singapore is rich. Singapore can pay for all the oil, no problem. So we don't have oil problem. Then US cannot tolerate that. So US is an oil exporter, but it's not immune to oil price hike. Okay. Then you look at Singapore, high income, small country, our oil only a few days. So we generate electricity using gas. So we are not affected by oil price. Of course, when the oil price go up, the gas price will go up because we pack the oil price, we pack the gas price to the oil. So, but we don't have shortage. But the price is high, no shortage, that's all. So we use the very little oil for electric generation. So our oil refinery today themselves have 3 months of reserve. Government keep another 3 months, so we have 6 months of reserve. And then most of our refined oil they are exported. So we still make money. Okay, the price of oil go up, the refined oil price will also go up, we still make money. And 8% of our cars are electric. So we still need oil for our car. Okay. But electricity is run on gas. So if our cars are all running on electric, then we don't need oil already for gas. But aeroplane, ships still need oil. So we are not a big manufacturer of plastic and other things. So we are not a major oil consuming country. So we are actually not so much affected. Okay. So now how the oil, US stock, if they block the oil, China will be affected. Okay, on paper it looks obvious. 90% of Iran's oil is exported to China. So once you look more Iran, the oil export to China will be stopped. 90%. Okay? So when Hormuz is blocked, China get no oil. Saudi oil cannot reach China. So it's like a shale wind. But if you look at this chart, You see, if US bomb Iran is in blue. Iran will bomb the other country, bomb Kuwait, bomb Qatar, bomb Bahrain, bomb UAE and all these places, Oman. End up, the Hormuz cannot move. So oil cannot go. Even the pipeline going here also blocked. So the only pipeline that can work is the one that go through Saudi Arabia by 2 meters. So now the whole world stop. Okay, US stop. Okay, no problem. Iran block me now. But actually Iran bomb every father, mother, son and all. So end up almost blocked. Now you look at how China use oil. Okay, most of the oil, although Iran sells 90% of the oil to China, Iran's oil to China is not even in the chart. It's under others. It's too small. Too small. Less than 2% is under others. So to Iran is 90%. To China is less than 2%. Kuwait is 3%, Qatar 2%. This will be affected like UAE, or will be Oman, Iraq. All these will be affected. Saudi, but Iran is nothing inside. Okay, and China, the oil come from Russia, 20%. Okay, and then we also have a railway train all the way from Iran to China. So you still can get oil from Iran by the railway track. But it's not a lot. Ship can carry more oil than train. Okay, but the ship still can come. Okay, the ship can cut the coast. So when there's an economic zone, okay, exclusive economic zone is like 370 kilometers away from your coast. So the ship can move, and that means the ship is still within the territory of the country like India. So US cannot bomb the ship because it's in somebody's country, it's not in international water. US cannot stop them. It's only when they try to cross into international water, shortcut, then they get caught. So the ship can still cut the coast and move along. So you literally cannot do anything. Of course, Iran will say, okay, this ship going to Europe cannot go, this ship going to US cannot go, this ship going to India can go, China can. So that's all they control, and they charge you a few million for your ship to cross. So Iran also earn some money. But now you look at our electricity in China, 62% is coal. So China don't use oil. Hardly. So you block the oil, the electricity in China still run. China has hydroelectricity 17.8%, wind power, solar, nuclear energy, and so on. But mainly coal. If you block the coal, China is big. Like China has their own coal, so you cannot block. So
It's coal buy from Australia,
Australia, Brazil, but they have their own coal mine. So that's why China is also worried about Australia because of the coal. The electricity, they are currently doing a lot on solar, trying to build up solar in the Xinjiang area so that they can less rely on coal. And coal also dirty and pollute the air and so on. And then if they go to electric car, they don't need oil already. So they run on electricity. Electricity can be hydro and things like that. So they try to go away from oil. So that's why China is going to electric. Okay. So now China is about 20%. Okay, going up. They expected to increase to 59% 2 4 years. But maybe it's faster than that. Currently, the price of oil is so high. Okay, so oil consumption, transport, okay, diesel, gasoline, like construction, chemistry, other things they require oil. So if they can remove transport that's dependent on oil, then China is not worried about oil anymore.
Well, production, construction, all this still need.
Yeah, everywhere need oil. The factory produce plastic need oil, the fertilizer also need oil, everything need oil. Then the transport, if your transport is using diesel or petrol, and you don't have a petrol, your car cannot move. But you run on electricity, they are okay. See, so they are going electric. It's a strategic move. Okay, how the US can sustain $29 trillion debt? Okay, first they can reduce inflation. Okay, on paper, they put in what are the products used to calculate inflation. Just take out some of these products. If it's shampoo, is inflation, then just change the type of shampoo, change to soap, and then inflation drop. So you look at what are the items, the basket of items used in the calculation of inflation. Just change the item. And then on paper, your inflation drop. When US subsidies tag to inflation. So with the inflation, the subsidy go up. So the government will pay more money. But once the inflation, say 2%, or I pay less, but you can change the formula, you get 2%. You don't change the formula, you get 3%, 4%. So on paper, you can cheat a bit. Okay, or they can reduce the interest rate. Reduce interest rate, your debt grows lower. So now you can go into the bond market, reduce interest rate. But of course, China also create US bond. So everybody fighting for US bond. Then the tariff, everybody increase tariff to increase the income. Or you can increase the share value, you can IPO or suck in all the US dollar with IPO of SpaceX, IPO of Entropy, you can suck in all the US dollar. Okay, you can have quantitative easing, so the Fed is like a central bank, the Fed gives money to bank to buy assets, buy junk assets. Then the bank has money to go to the government. Okay. So they hope that all this money will flow down to the public. So they have all this quantitative easing, 2028, 2021, 2022. So it doesn't work temporarily. And Singapore control money. You can reduce expenditure. Okay. Unnecessarily those like cut down manpower, increase productivity, reduce borrowing, increase income, increase deposit. When you deposit more and more money inside your bank, then less money gets circulated. So you remove the money from circulation, then when there's less money to buy things, then the price of things will not go up. Okay, or you can peg the money to certain asset, or you can peg to a foreign reserve. This side is how the Singapore sustain the value of money. You peg to gold, land, or buy foreign currency. How the US is going to pay the debt, $39 trillion. They use quantitative easing, they tax the people, they sell more weapons to Taiwan, Saudi Arabia, or other countries, or Europe to fight against Russia. Or they can make other countries poorer. You make other countries poorer, you look better. Also can. Okay? Or you can force the use of US dollar. You don't use US dollar, you are not my friend. Okay? Or you can move US dollar to crypto. Then you become untraceable. Then you more or less raise money without people tracking you. Or you can conquer other land. Or this is the ancient way of getting rich. You conquer
Greenland.
Greenland to get all that sand. You conquer Canada to get oil and everything. Oil and electricity and everything all free. You conquer Venezuela and get all the oil. So US has grown so big by conquering land, taking over Alaska, taking over Mexico. The Alaska is bought, not conquered, but still conquered, we win the land. Okay, how the bank also get money in bank in Singapore. You borrow from bank to buy property. So the bank give you 1 million, you say you owe the bank 5% interest rate. Okay. When somebody put money in the bank, the bank give you 1% interest, so the bank earns the difference 4%. So the bank don't need money. Whatever money coming go up is somebody's money. So the bank doesn't do this transaction. So that's how money gets circulated. So I propose my own government I will tax on the road. Then you can minimize expenditure. So you may say you propose 1% tax on the road. The federal buy property, you tax 1%. Currently, only the bank earns the money. The bank charge interest for the road, the bank earns money. The government don't earn money. Of course, it earns at the end when there's a profit. But by then, the bank pay the CEO, pay everybody money, buy assets, buy this, buy that. Then the profit reduces. So you tax on the road. Those who are rich, they will buy big property, they take loan, tax them. The poor won't buy, won't take so much money, they won't take a big loan. So they will be taxed less. So even the poorer, they don't buy property, they will rent, they will not be taxed. Okay? So the mortgage rate, say 2.6%, you tax 1%. Personal loan, the interest rate up to 24%. Obviously, the bank can afford 1% pay out. Then the saving rate only 0.05%. So the bank earns all the money. For saving rate, you don't need to tax. You need tax on the loan the bank give out. So there's this misunderstanding. The government owns money, but they own money in Sing dollar or foreign currency. So in many countries, when they borrow money from IMF and all this, or from China, it's either US dollar or RMB. So when the US dollar go up, you got hard time paying. Or when your currency drop, then you also got hard time paying. Okay? But if you borrow in local currency, let's say in Singapore, you borrow in Sing dollar, okay, it's bad enough, but not that bad. Okay, because you can always print your own Singapore dollar. So you will always able to pay that. Only problem is come like banana money. Okay, too much like that. You can borrow a lot of yen from their own people. Then you want to increase the interest rate. pay back all this local depositor high interest, so you cannot buy. But no problem lah. Come to the worst, you just create more money, more Sing dollar. It's your own currency you create. But of course, you end up in inflation because you got a lot of money floating. Suddenly, people, you want all the money back, you pay up, create a lot of Sing dollar, pay everybody. But then, sometimes you can borrow, Singapore, you can borrow from our own CPF, HDB, URA. It's all in Sing dollars. Okay, but tomorrow, the government should reduce borrowing. You borrow all this money and go and spend, and you have trouble. You borrow money when you don't build asset, it's still okay, not too bad. And now, government also must earn money. The most obvious is to tax people, income tax, property tax, all this. Because they can create an EV license, driving license, you pay for it. The worker levy, telecom, telecommunication, energy, you can privatize it, then you get the money back. You take the money and spend, you don't need to borrow. Okay? Or you can print money. Not exactly what you print. Print money is not. You don't just print like that. You borrow, print. Okay? And our government can sell land, 99-year lease, 20-year lease, 60-year lease. Then you get money. When you sell land, they give you the money. Then you can absorb back all the Sing dollar. Because too much Sing dollar in circulation is no good. It makes the money very cheap. So, or you can use the money, you can invest money, you can earn money, like asset. Or you buy foreign reserve, you take money, you can buy US dollar, buy renminbi, all these things. Or you buy other shares of other countries. Or you ask people, come, alright, let's come and invest in Singapore. So there's a war in Middle East, you come here, save you, cut your money, bring your money in. We have a lot of financial assets to invest. We invest in AI and all these things. So a lot of money coming, pay local, pay salary, pay tax, pay rental. Okay. So you can issue coins like letter. I also propose we tax, like foreigner also pay CPF, but not non-refundable. That is something like a tax. Otherwise, foreigner get higher take-home pay than local. Okay, you can borrow using CPF, you can borrow by issuing Singapore saving bond, you can treasury bond, TV. Okay. Okay, you can collect deposit. You want to start a deposit, you pay a deposit. You want to start a business company, you pay a deposit. You want to start money changer, you pay a deposit. You want to do a bank, also pay a deposit. You want to employ all worker, you also pay a deposit. But deposit not so good because you have to return. But at least you hold back the money for circulation. So all this can reduce the circulation. So that's one also. All the bank deposit, if the bank bankrupt, you get back nothing because you pay back the creditor first. So this law must change. That bank depositors must take money back first, then the creditors. Creditors are running business. Depositors are poor people. So the fractional reserve, the MS set at 3%. You just increase it, then there will be less money in circulation. Okay. Okay, we don't talk all this already. Please start. Okay, please. Okay, the other thing I want to show you is I started a business in Malaysia, buy properties. So I started with Tri-Tower. Already bought 2 units of Tri-Tower. It's $1 million, $1 million ringgit each. Tri-Tower is located just 50 meters, just next to the RTS. RTS is an MRT that links from Woodland North to JB. So in future with the MRT, a lot of people will either stay near the RTS, come to Singapore to work, or Singaporean who in Malaysia will just go to RTS, take RTS, reach there, and then and stay there, come back home so easy. So from RTS, you take MRT to Woodland North, sometimes it's faster than in Singapore. You stay in Singapore, sometimes you will take a bus to the nearest MRT. Then you take the MRT to work. But RTS straight away Woodland North, then come to Singapore. The check-in is faster also, because you check in as you enter the RTS, there's a customer. The customer will check in from Singapore and Malaysia at the same time. So you don't need to queue up. If you take a train, when the train reaches JB, everybody alive. So there's a long queue. Say 100, 200 people will be waiting at the counter to clear. The RTS is, as people come, they clear the customer. So once they reach Singapore, they don't need to clear any customer, just go up. The same when you go to JB, you clear the customer as you enter. Once you reach JB, you just walk up. So it's very fast. So Tri-Tower is the nearest to the RTS, and you also they walk to the JB Central Custom. So if you want to invest, the return will be about 2.4%. Then we will pay money to you, and you want us to pay properly, then we will pay money to ringgit. Of course, we convert to Singapore. So this one is called perpetual loan. Whatever loan you put in, how much loan the company has, then we will pay you as a percentage of the loan. And then if the asset price go up and we sell the property, we will also get capital appreciation, maybe about 3% a year. So you are interested, you will let me know. I can send you I can post a document agreement. Okay, this one is not like a bank deposit. You don't take out the money. You put in money there until the company decided to close down or whatever. You sell all the property, you return it. Otherwise, the money stay there. If you get a passive income, whatever.
Well, they have free private parking, free Wi-Fi,
Where?
also 2 swimming pools, indoor, outdoor, rooftop. Wow, so many things free.
The condo I went there is quite well maintained.
free Wi-Fi. That means no need to install the broadband.
No, I think it's like the function.
Huh? Function room only, not the whole unit.
No, you need like how to cover the whole thing. You
How much?
see, you can invest Sing dollar like 10,000 onwards. But you want to buy a property yourself also can then you manage the property. This one we manage everything for you. And then we have a Malaysian company. So we don't pay foreign tax.
It's quite nice looking.
Chai Tower is quite well maintained.
Quite nice.
The facilities, everything
Wow.
are very nice.
Not bad.
Not
Actually, next time
city forest.
No. Chai Tower. Next time if you marry or your children, grandchildren, you can actually hold a wedding dinner there. You can get caterer, do things. The function quite big. So, and then they just take a train, go in, finish, just take a train back home. It's just 5 minutes only back to London now. So it's very convenient.
That means the building complete already.
Yeah.
Moving in condition.
Long ago completed already.
Moving in
It's
very
very
new here.
completed. So if you the tenancy is like currently like 3,000, and then the car park you can rent out separately for 500 ringgit.
This is a freehold.
Yeah, freehold. And then if the train is ready, the rental will go up, and capital appreciation will be there. The other thing is in terms of economic, when the economy goes down, people from Singapore will shift over to Malaysia to stay. Then the Chai Tower value will go up. The demand will be there. But that's the most convenient place. There are other apartments further away. The condition of the building is not very good. So Chai Tower so far is the best. The nearest, the best well maintained. And the fastest you go by the causeway is sometimes there's a long delay. You walk here, walk there, walk very far.
That means we can retire there. Buy a unit to retire there.
And I can retire anywhere. You want to retire with, you can retire in Cambodia, Vietnam, very cheap.
No, but it's near to Singapore. Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos are too far away.
You retire, why you care far? You retire, you just go there every day, go fishing, eating, dancing, drinking.
Cannot every Friday go to.
You want massage every day also can.
No, is you're buying the house to stay there or what?
Stay there.
Yeah, house also cheap.
Huh?
You don't buy in Johor house, that's cheap. You go Vietnam, Cambodia, it's very cheap. Thailand also can.
But it's much cheaper than Singapore.
Everywhere is much cheaper than Singapore. Malaysia is cheaper. It's 1/3 or 1/4 the price of Singapore. The price.
Thailand also same as Thailand.
Yeah, Vietnam is even cheaper. Cambodia is hardly cheap.
My own experience, never buy properties overseas. You regret.
No, you buy completed one. Don't buy uncompleted one.
Also,
You buy completed if you want to stay there.
It cheap you.
So you want to stay there, it's okay. Make sure you go through lawyer and everything.
Own experience.
Yeah, of course, different country have their own laws. So you want to buy must be careful. It's not that cannot buy, you must be careful what you buy. Those under construction, the rule is every quarter or every certain period you pay a certain percentage. So you keep pay based on the timing. not based on completion. So the thing don't complete. By every quarter you pay a certain amount. Then by the time the year finish 100% already. But the thing not completed.
Now the China, you know, the Zhuhai, okay, original is they're selling 1.3 or 1.4 billion RMB. Now go down to 200,000 already.
Oh, don't know why.
All the condo. No, because it's overpopulated. Nobody want to stay there.
Where?
Overpopulated.
Zhuhai.
Overconstruction.
Over construction. Nobody will stay there. They thought that people will work and then will stay, but the thing is, no, don't have. There's no.
Cheap can buy, but cheap.
If you have money,
Yeah, but this one is I bought 2 units, so it's 2 million ringgit. So we have if you're interested, you all can invest once you have enough money, maybe you can buy other units or buy other property or maybe commercial or other property to invest. So we have this
so if it's
economy of scale.
10,000, then you got 240 per month.
Okay, in ringgit lah. In ringgit is 2 million, about 700,000 Sing. 700,000 Sing dollar. Already put in already. So if you want, you can put in. I will remove my share of this loan. So you take over. We will have agreement. I will have agreement of you and the company. Then I will manage the company. So eventually we will own more and more properties will be popular. Then we will be part of the early bird. Okay, if you're interested, you contact me now by WhatsApp. Okay, so thank you everybody.
The door is locked.
Door is locked.
Yep. Door is locked.
Now go out already.
Can I go out already? They are locked.
Mm.